do our thing. We gon' work out.
Welcome to the Own Your Power Lifestyle Show. I'm Coach Simone Kelly, author, intuitive life coach, and Reiki master with Own Your Power Communications. We're your trusted guide to conscious living, intuitive wisdom, and personal growth. And today I'm very excited to have a regular and a longtime friend of mine, a regular of the show. She's been on the show several times, Melissa Moonchild Stokes.
Hi, everybody.
She's based in South Florida, and she's the CEO and founder, of Luna Rain Botanicals, and the focus of her company is to help women with natural ancestral healing remedies. And she's a master herbalist, and she's definitely a go-to person in my network if I have questions about anything. And she's helped me many times, and I just love having her on the show. So welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I love you so much. I love being here. Thank you.
We love you too. Today's topic is called the 7-Day Live Food Feast, and it's how to detox without the drama. I was saying to some friends earlier, I've been obsessed with learning about detoxing and fasting and cleansing. I have horrible, it's sad, but I have horrible willpower. Like I
Me too.
usually do intermittent fasting, but like a whole 24 hours or 4. So when you said we can do a live food feast, that sounds a little bit more up my alley. I can do that.
Yes.
Melissa, first tell us a little bit more about you. What got you started into being a master herbalist? Like what really brought you to this passion?
Well, I was attending college for pre-med. I was studying pre-med, and my grandmother got colon cancer, and she went to an herbalist that was in my mom's church congregation, and she stayed with her. She went to her home and stayed with her for like 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, she pooped out all the cancer and cleaned out her whole system and went back to the doctor. She was going to prepare for all of the procedures that they were going to do for her. She thought she was just preparing her body for chemo and radiation and surgery and stuff.
Right.
But when she went back to the doctor was like, he said, "I don't want to know what you just did." That's what he said. He said, "I don't
know.
That's what I want to know."
Right?
And just what you
Wanna
do?
know?
He said, it freaked him out. It scared him. He didn't know anything about it. It had been such a short amount of time. You know, he was prepared to do this long, drawn out, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of, okay? Yeah. And she came back and it was all gone. No scarring, no nothing. And her health had improved. He said, "I don't want to know what you did. Go home. Enjoy your life."
At least he was honest, because some of them will still tell you got cancer and keep giving you drugs, you know? So,
Exactly. So he didn't want to know, but at least he didn't take her for the loop.
because that's somebody that just got I mean, not just, but I know there was somebody in the news that was misdiagnosing people, and then just to get the payment for
It's a lot. That's a lot of money.
wicked ass people out there, man.
Think about it.
Grandma got healed. And
So grandma got healed, and that's what introduced. And you know, I was already studying medicine. But nothing about this. They were really prepared. Now, in hindsight, I realize they're preparing us to be the drug dealers. Because you can't get to the pharmaceuticals if not through a doctor, right? So they were just preparing us to learn enough about the body so then we can learn about the drugs and the classifications of diseases that they have artificially created to define what the body is doing. And then therefore, here's the dosage of the drugs. It's a whole system that they created that has to do with money, not health, profit, and, you know, dosages and stuff.
Right.
But so, yeah, that started me off on that path, because even when I was in college, I had a lactose intolerance that looked like allergies and hay fever really bad that I wasn't aware of. And so to reward myself, I would drink this big old half and half strawberry, made out of half and half, okay? Strawberry milkshake every day. And I'd fill it with whipped cream and I'd drink half of it and then fill that half of it every day. And every night it was getting worse. I would wake up sneezing so bad, holding my chest, thinking I was going to have a heart attack. And I went to the doctor on the campus and I told her what was happening. She's like, I said, "There's got to be something that I'm eating. I've always had allergies, but not like this. Like, I feel like I'm going to die in the middle of the night for sneezing and holding my heart." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, no, those are old wives' tales. There's nothing that you're eating. You just got to take this Claritin pill that's $20 a day."
Of course. You know what? Yeah. I've seen allergy doctors are full of crap too. So I always start lactose intolerant meant you have like diarrhea or
Indigestion. It can show up
or
in a lot of different ways. Some people get straight up migraines. Some people just get bloated inflammation. Some people get their arthritis acts up, eczema acts up. It just
right.
means that your body's like, oh, we don't do this. Get it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alert, alert. So then because of that, that woman changed my whole family's view on eating and diet and what we're eating. No longer do we just like take the word for the label on the box and be like,
Right.
oh, this is America. They would never do that. They would never poison us. You know, there's standards and there's the FDA. Yeah, not really. So anyway, so she taught us how to this herbalist. I mentored with her for like 20 years after that.
Oh,
Yeah. And she's sent me a lot of like a lot of information I garnered from her. I'm forever grateful to her. She transitioned in 2020 from after a beautiful long night. And
where's she
and then
from? Where to?
she's Mexican. Mexican. So
Amazing.
she
Oh,
had a lot of Mexican recipes and indigenous like traditions to do as well. There's so many. There's just so many. And they can be so luxurious and comforting and nourishing at the same time. It doesn't have to be harsh. That's my approach. I find every herbalist is a little bit like art, and every herbalist has their own approach and their own way because there's a million ways you could like if I wanted to clean this apartment, there's a million ways I could clean it. You
right.
know what I mean? I could bring a team and outsource it. I could, take all the furniture out and just get his hose and pressure wash everything, right? And that's the way that I'm seeing most people doing cleanses these days.
Right.
Is it's just way too harsh
Right.
and unnecessarily harsh and draining of essential nutrients and hydration that you need for your structure to maintain your actual health. And you're like peeing and pooping them out with these harsh cleanses. So, my approach is one that reminds us that this can be really gentle, it could be loving, and it can happen just as fast and just as effective without the pain.
Is this what a live food fast, a live food feast? Excuse me.
Peace.
Feast. I like. So, can you give us like the definition, your definition of what it is, and then
Yes.
we'll go deeper into it.
Yes. So I'm finding that a big mistake that I'm noticing a lot of people are making in our natural community and vegan, vegetarian, stuff like that. We're very malnourished. Most of the vegans I know very few vegans that are actually healthy. It's good for a restrictive diet when you have an extreme issue like cancer or something very, very extreme that you need extreme measures to overcome. Then I could see you doing that diet, but and you don't, and you can still achieve it in a gentle way without being that restrictive. But if that's all the information that you have, it will get you to where you want to go,
Right.
health, right? But most of the time, you need nutrition in order to cleanse. You need it. So I say nutrition first and then detoxing second. When most of the people I'm finding in my community are like detox first. That's the first
Right.
step. But if you don't have the proper nutrition, for example, in the liver, if you don't have enough fatty acids in the liver that it takes for the liver to neutralize and alchemize the oil based fatty soluble toxins, what the liver does is it puts everything together in a pocket. And that ends up with fatty
Mhm.
liver disease. And you think you're cleansing, but you don't have the nutrition to actually get it out. You
Right.
can poop things out, you can sweat them out, you can throw them up, you can also neutralize them,
Mhm.
right? That's one of the main functions of the liver is it neutralizes these toxins, but it takes specific compounds to neutralize them. It takes nutrition. Takes a level of nutrition to neutralize them. So if you're on this strict diet and you're already malnourished and now you want to flush things out your body, you're asking too much of your body and
Right.
you can end up really hurting yourself actually.
I would say, like, out of like your clients or people that you know, what would be some of the number one reasons why they need to cleanse? I'm thinking like, brain fog, fatigue, bloating. Like, what are some other, sugar craving?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, so everything cleanses in the world. It's the natural part of life. It's like you breathe in, you breathe out. Why should we breathe out? Like nobody ever asks, well, why should I brush my teeth? Why should I wash my face? Why should I, you know what I'm saying? Why should I wipe my butt? Because there's poop on it. Like that's why. That's why you got to clean because it's part of life. Everything cleanses. The water system cleanses, the oceans cleanse, the lakes change, the airs change, the bears have cleansing periods where they just eat berries and leaves to clean out. Cats, when they get sick, they'll go outside and eat grass to
right.
purge. Everything cleanses. And all indigenous cultures cleansed, had systems of cleansing as well. But in our modern world, we are so divorced from being plugged into the cycles of nature, cleansing and renewal and stuff like that. Just like, why would I cleanse? What do you mean cleanse? And there are people who've never cleansed in their life. That's actually the average American, is
Right, right.
someone who's never cleaned out their intestines. But my mom grew up in Nicaragua, and she remembers every mango season her grandmother would hold her nose and pour castor oil down her throat every day for a few days to make them purge from the rooter to the tutor. And even in the South, if someone grew up in the South and has an old granny, every spring they would take the turpentine, the natural pine oil, and put it on a sugar cube and give the kids every day for a few days to kill the parasites,
My mom,
right?
my mom said in Jamaica they would do they call it washout, but I don't really know what's in it. But I know that before school starts, they would always give that to the kids.
Yes.
Princess Island. I know a lot of European cultures they do that too, but like we're Americans, no, we don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, we're divorced. And so, like, I like to give, if I am going to try and speed it up, because I want to, it just makes so much sense when you look at it like this. Imagine an apartment building with a lot of levels of floors, right? And it has a trash chute system where everybody on the floor just drops their garbage into a chute. And at the bottom floor is a big old bin with everybody's garbage from the building.
Mhm.
And imagine now if waste management from the county only, when they came to pick up the garbage and empty the bin, they only picked up what fell on the floor, right? So then all the garbage fills up to the top floor through the chute. It's
Mhm.
going to start spilling out on each of the floors. You're
Right.
going to get flies and rats and rodents, and it's going to smell terrible, right? Even the paint on the walls from the slime is going to come off, right? People will start using their sinks and their tubs and their toilets in ways that it wasn't really meant for. They'll start trying to put garbage down it because where are you going to put it? And then they'll start using their cars even to take their own garbage out somewhere far away. You'll feel bad. You won't want to be home. It's going to be a bad mood. Everyone passing by is going to smell it and that vibe is going to be off, right? That's the body. The bin on the bottom is the colon. Okay.
Mhm.
So your lymphatic system, when it drains out and lets go, it dumps into the colon, right? Your liver, when it gets rid of stones and the deposits and the larva of the
Right.
worms and the flukes, you're going to poop it out,
Right.
right? So that colon has to be clear and free in order to do any other cleansing. Just like in the apartment, they need to start completely emptying the bin and get all that garbage out. And then you can start. Now, the rodents and the flies, those are parasites that we would attract in an imbalanced way, right? Everybody's going to have some kind of parasite coming through and coming out, but it's when they colonize in your body when you have a
Mm.
problem, right? And they're
Mhm.
only going to colonize there if they have the space and the food. They don't like lots of light and oxygen. They need low light, low oxygen, and a lot of crap.
Right.
And that's what's going to keep them. Okay.
Yeah.
Even the paint is the structure of your body, your bones, your skin, the actual structure. The toxins in your body make an acidic situation in your blood that breaks down your structure. You see it in your skin, your hair will fall out, you get eczema. All these things are expressions of the structure coming apart
Right.
because of the gunk inside and the acid inside. And they're trying to, like, the bones will try to neutralize the acid by giving up minerals. So you'll have, all kind of structural issues.
Also, energy wise, right? You'll
Energy wise, you'll
energy.
feel terrible. You won't want to even be here. And you
Mhm.
don't know why. It's just because it's just too much. Your spacesuit is uncomfortable. It's full of crap and parasites and foreign stuff and a balance that it was never supposed to have. And it's constantly telling you, hey, I'm full of crap. It's coming out of your skin. It's coming out of your pores. You can smell it. You know what I'm saying? You can smell it in your monthly cycle. You can smell it in your sweat. Like, help.
So, do you suggest people do the live feast or some sort of detox every season or every month or
Okay. So it's kind of like if you're going to do a really good, thorough cleanse that you have the discipline to do at least 7 days, 7 to 10 days consecutive, really focused and you don't cheat and you're healthy, you can do that like a few times a year, every time the season changes,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Or anytime it's about to get cold, or anytime you're going to start something new, like the school year is going to start, so you need to fortify your immune system, or are you going to a big move or divorce, like big changes that you need to stay on a high vibration. So seasonally and during big changes to prepare your body, that's when I would say. And now, if you do it less, let's say you can only do 3 days, like you have a long weekend and you want to just focus on cleansing, then I would say do it once a month, once every 2 months, right? So you can do it more frequently.
One little perk. I mean, since a lot of my audience are very in tune with their intuition, I know whenever I cleanse or whenever I even just like intermittent fast, like my brain, my intuition is like through the roof. my,
Real.
my dream clearer. So that's another benefit. And even if you need it not just for intuition, but just for your daily, work, just to be able to think clearer, or if you're in school or something, it's definitely magical. I feel like a superhero when I do it. So.
For real.
Mhm.
And like I want to say 80% to 90% of all the ailments that a human us Americans have in
Mhm.
this eating culture, m- most emotional, mental, physical, all of them, whatever ailment, 80 to 90% of them can be cured, so-called cured, can be flushed out, neutralized, um, with a cleanse,
On cleansing.
with
Okay.
cleansing.
Well, everybody get your pens and papers out and tell us, can you walk us through the actual protocol for a 7-day feast? Do we have to prepare beforehand? Like let's say somebody listening to this just be Popeyes or they're eating McDonald's or whatever. Like they can't just go straight into a cleanse, right? I'm assuming.
You can. The way my cleanse is, you can.
Oh,
Yeah, you can. You don't
I
got
know.
to gradually get into it. What it is a feast. Not a fast. It's the opposite of a fast. I think fasting is for advanced, unless it's intermittent fasting is nothing. It's not a
Yeah,
big deal.
that's easy.
It's
Yeah.
it's a healthy
Yeah.
way to do. And also I want to put this in there. We do cleanse every day. You cleanse every time you
Mhm.
exhale. You cleanse every time you go to the bathroom. You cleanse every time you intermittent fast. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm talking about is not like, because it's just like in my apartment. I cleanse every time I take the garbage out. I'm cleaning it in a way. But a Saturday morning old school cleanse resets your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the type of cleansing I'm talking about. Is a good one that um and
Yes,
that's
Lord.
different. Because a lot of living doctors are saying stuff like you don't need to cleanse. You cleanse every day. The body's full of all kind of cleaning mechanisms. Yeah, no,
I've never heard that.
I hear it all the time, all the time. The thing, so how you do it is the MO. I'm telling the objective of it all is to flush everything out and activate all the organs of elimination, right? To do their job. They need nutrition to do that, and they need hydration to do that. So, what we're going to do is eat as much raw and steamed and maybe even soups, right? Vegetables and fruit as possible. You're
Cool.
going to feast.
I like that. I can do
No,
that.
as the more you get in, the deeper and faster the cleanse. Because what you're cleansing, the mechanism we're using to cleanse here is the actual live enzymes in the fruits and vegetables, the chlorophyll in the fruits and vegetables, and the fiber in these fruits and vegetables. So it's like imagine you're chewing scrubbers.
Okay.
So the more you eat, the more you're getting scrubbed, and it's a gentle scrub. The enzymes that are alive, they still have the sun's energy. So they're attaching to the toxins and neutralizing them, and then you poop it out. Right? When you fast, the mechanism that is cleansing is your own thermostat. Just like when I put the oven cleaner, when I set my oven to clean, the mechanism that it uses is heat. It just burns everything, and you're left with ash that can easily be wiped out. That's how fasting works. But when you burn plastic in the body, it's not good. When you burn, and that's what we're eating. We're eating plastic. When something says actually natural cheese and stuff like that, means that the regular cheese is not cheese. It's actually plastic. Jiffy is mostly plastic. A lot of these cooking oils, they're straight up plastic. Like we're eating plastic, all the preservatives, all the natural, all the artificial flavors and colors, all the fertilizers, all of it. It's all petroleum plastic. So when you fast and you burn that, end up with, toxins, you end up with more toxins. And then you end up with a cleansing crisis with the headaches and the bad mood and the rashes and the stuff like that that you didn't have before you started cleansing. But now you've created a secondary toxin that now you don't even have the nutrition to push out because you just depleted yourself in that fast of a whole bunch of fatty acids and water and minerals because you fasted. You get what I'm saying? So fasting is for advanced.
So
It
this is
is
a
very
pre-fast.
good. So what I'm
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
a pre-fast.
Exactly. Fasting is something that should be done spiritually with your whole body involved, your whole being involved, and after you've done a bunch of other cleanses. And it needs to be for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You don't just fast just to not just to detox 'cause you can hurt yourself. I saw this one friend of mine who did a citrus fast. So it wasn't a vegan, well studied and all this stuff. After 7 days of doing just a citrus fast, his whole front tooth fell out of his face because he peed out all his minerals. He was robbing himself of the minerals during the fast. So, what you do here to get a good cleanse and to not rob yourself of your minerals that you need in order to do a good cleanse, what you're going to do is get as much in as you possibly can of greens. The way I recommend it is making a green juice, right? Because you can get like a quart of green. That quart could represent a whole like bags of greens, right? And try to not do the kale and the spinach and other high oxalate greens because that can be a little harsh on the kidneys. But there's so many greens that are not high oxalate. We got watercress, all the sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, curly parsley, dandelion greens, okay, even baby lettuces. We got
Celery.
like just celery, green apples. You got I mean there's just so many. If you go to a farmer's market, not your traditional American grocery store, but a farmer's market where you have like heirloom seeded fruits and vegetables, there's
Right.
just so many and you can use the greens of any edible tuber, carrot greens, sweet potato greens, collard greens, like any greens. In the proportion, what you're going to consume is going to be in the proportion of 75% at least has to be greens
Okay.
and not sweet. And then 25% can be fruit, pineapple, strawberries, berries, all the different colors, right? Of fruits and veggies, but no more, of fruits and sweet stuff, apples or whatever, bananas, but no more than 25% by volume of what you eat should be the sweet stuff. And so you're going to make sure that you don't ever get hungry. That's the key. The minute you skip a meal, this is not a restrictive diet. This is not a restrictive caloric diet. We're just restricting you from eating anything other than fruits and vegetables, right?
But
Mhm.
salads, is it salads too? Can you use dressing?
Yes.
No dressing. I'm listening.
Yes, you can use dressing as long as it is whole food. So we're not talking about in a bottle that has preservatives, even if it says all natural. Like
Right.
make it yourself with
Vinaigrette.
squeezed lemon, put some apple cider vinegar, some tahini.
Okay.
What? So nuts are considered raw still or good enough for this cleanse. They're not a deviation from the cleanse. They're actually necessary. So we got green juice. That could be a meal with your salad and a soup. Huh? 3 times a day or anytime you get hungry. Oops, huh?
That can definitely fill you up.
Exactly. Don't get hungry. The second you get hungry and you allow yourself to stay hungry, you go into fasting mode and you begin to burn the toxins. We're not trying to burn them. We're trying to flush them out. No burning of them. No burning of the toxins for me.
Yes.
You got to graduate to that, right? For your own health, like graduate to that. So, okay. Herbal teas, all the herbal teas you want. Okay, lots of
No agave.
yeah, you can use, but be careful now. You remember, you don't want a lot of sugar in this. No more than 25% of everything you good in needs to be sweet. You could use dates. Dates are my favorite sweetener. I soak them the whole date, not date syrup, the whole date.
Okay.
And even get the ones with the pit in it because you take the pit out and dry it and grind it. Honey, that thing cures cancer. That thing is so good. That thing will repair nerves and stuff, right? Yeah. So dates, you soak them in water and they really need to be soaked in order to really spread the sweetness. Otherwise, they're so hard and dense, it's hard to blend them up enough and you'll have little pockets of little pieces of dates instead of it. And so you'll have to use more dates to make the entire thing sweet, right?
Okay.
Soak them. And then it also makes the nutrients more bioavailable when they've already been soaked and, opened up a little bit. So soak them. The water itself that you soak it in is sweet, you know what I mean? And it doesn't bombard your blood with sugar the way honey does or agave does. It slow releases the sweetness into the blood, along with a lot of vitamins and fiber, right? Well, the fiber doesn't so much go in the blood, but the vitamins and the minerals do. And that makes it so that it's not a bum rush of sugar to your cells. That's the danger of the sugar. Now, another important factor, 2 other smoothies that you're going to make every day during this cleanse. So if we got the greens 3 times a day, as much as you possibly can. You can add fruit to it and sweeteners to it, but no more than 25% by volume. Okay. Needs to be sweet. The other 2 things that you're going to add to your daily regimen, you can put them anywhere in the day, is a sunflower seed smoothie. So you take so these are solutions that are very accessible and cheap, okay? Raw sunflower seeds, you can get a bag of them from Trader Joe's for $3.99. That'll last you a couple weeks, okay? Oh, you're in Costa Rica, but I'm sure you can find some raw sunflower seeds.
I actually have pumpkin seed. I've been making pumpkin seed milk.
That could work. So take a nut that's highly nutritious.
Okay.
Okay. And soak them overnight. And you're going to have that, not just the milk, because the milk, most of the time when I hear the recipes, they take the fiber and
the pulp.
The pulp and the fiber and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't strain it.
Okay.
Don't strain it. So what we're doing is not really making a milk, but we're making a nut smoothie. Right. And you need that because the liver needs fat. The liver and the brain and the nerves and the ovaries and all this stuff and all your fascia and all the lining of all your cells and all your organs, that's fat. Those are fatty acids. Those are lipids. You need fat to detox. Like I was saying earlier, the liver needs essential fatty acids to neutralize and to alchemize a lot of fat-soluble toxins. Otherwise, it's going to put them and you're going to end up with gallstones thinking that you were cleansing. But you didn't. You just pocketed them because it didn't have the wherewithal to flush it out. Okay. So that's where the fats come in and it'll help lubricate things, right?
What do you put?
So I soak it, I zhuzh it up with cinnamon. You know that? You can zhuzh it up, put a little bit of natural vanilla flavoring in it. But it's really just going to be, and it's good and it's satisfying. There's no pain to this. It is not bad, The other thing you're going to need is bitters tea. That's the only thing that's not pleasant in this situation. And it doesn't hurt. There's no pain. It just tastes bad. But the taste itself is also healing. The taste of bitter on your tongue. So we're not taking capsules of bitter herbs. You got to taste it in a tea. The taste itself triggers the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a nerve that comes out of the bottom of your brain. It touches the tongue and the salivary glands, your thyroid, and then all of your internal organs, all of your liver, your stomach, your guts, everything. The vagus nerve sends impulses and controls. It's like a clock for them and stimulator and stuff. So when you take your bitter tea in the morning, right, it starts this process that lubricates your intestines for the day. It puts the acid balance properly in your stomach for the day. It makes the pancreas active and awake and alive to do the insulin balance for the day.
We take the bitters in the morning. So
you take the bitters in the morning.
What would be a bitter?
So there's lots and lots and lots of bitters out there. Anything that tastes bitter. Okay, so we're talking about gentian, burdock, dandelion roots, the roots.
Okay.
Angelica. Calamus is another one. There's so many bitter roots, and a lot of them are weeds. Like dandelion is what they call a weed, but it's one of the most powerful herbs for the liver that is also gentle. So on my website, I have a good formula that has gentian, burdock, dandelion, and I think angelica. And then I add things like cardamom and other spices like that because it's so terrible to taste. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, at least make it smell good. I don't know. But that's my approach.
Is it like a cup full, or just a little bit? Like how much do people usually drink of the bitters?
Good question. A small cup is good enough.
Shot glass.
And here's a little trick. Here's the indigenous herbal trick that has to do with your intuition as well. These 3 fingers right here,
Okay.
set your intention of what you're going to do. I'm about to get the dosage, the amount of herbs that I need for me today at this moment, or for my child that I'm making this for at this moment. And I'm going to pick exactly the right amount for my 1 serving. And you use these 3 servings. You say that, set the intention, use these 3 fingers, and just grab your amount and put it in your cup. Fill it with the boiling water, let it steep for 10 to 15 minutes. And then you drink it. That's how I make the herb, the bitter tea.
Question. I've been doing lemon water, warm lemon water in the morning. That doesn't that's not considered bitter, right? That's not good.
No, that's sour.
That's true. Yes.
And that is good. That is good. And you can add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of cayenne. Honey.
Okay.
Now you're cooking with gas. Now you got you a wonderful little detox thing every morning. And you'll see you get your bowel movements will be more consistent even with just that. You'll even smell bile the first 2 times you do that in your poop. Sorry. I don't know if that's TMI, but you'll smell bile. And that is the excess bile that was about to turn into fatty acids or a fatty liver situation that you've been wanting to get out.
So now again, it's start off the morning with the
Start off the morning with the bitter. Don't get hungry. You could prep it. Prep the juices, prep your salads. When I say salad, I'm not talking about just lettuce with some tomatoes and
Yeah,
cucumbers.
I remember I knew somebody that was saying he was detoxing, and his salads had ranch dressing drizzling on it.
With iceberg lettuce or romaine lettuce.
He just like nasty. I was like, I'm not gonna help you. But so can you suggest like I know you said make it colorful, like cucumbers, carrots. Like, do you recommend carrots?
I'll grate them. I'll grate everything. Radishes are especially good.
Yeah.
I'll grate the radish, grate the carrots, grate burdock root, right? Burdock root you can get fresh. Well, you can get them here in South Florida at any Asian supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so burdock root, I grate. I put watercress leaves. I put sprouts. I use baby lettuce. You could put cilantro, that's wonderful
helps
for
with the
heavy
melon.
metals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And parsley, you can just put any of the greens, kind of like the same greens you'd put in the juice in the salad. And like I said, make your own salad dressing because once you put water in a bottle, you got to put preservatives. There's no way around it. Not just lettuce and tomatoes, cucumbers, and oh my God, beets. You know what I mean? Avocado. God is so good. He's given us so many edible things that are so beautiful. And then, you know what I mean? And that's what I want. Because for real, at the end of the day, your health is the number 1 thing that was going to create health for you is your state of being. I have friends that have been so traumatized and they eat so good and they have the worst health than anyone that I know because of the state of being that they've been in for so many decades.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It creates acid. So that's why I'm like, make this joyful, fun, colorful. Yeah, so that you're creating a bowl of something happiness that you want to eat, and then you're eating that joy. You're eating that happiness. You're eating the playfulness of it all. You're eating these high vibrational things that you're creating, not just some salad. You get what I'm saying?
I'm excited to make a salad today now.
Yes.
So now, with that said, it sounds like it's not gonna make me have to be in the house all day and tired.
Exactly.
So, can people work out and exercise during this piece?
That is definitely a component. So what we covered so far is more the diet part, right? Where you're just feasting. The more the better. The more the better. Just stuff it in there. Just grab a handful of blueberries, just eat, just get it in. Okay? And the other components that are also very necessary are the spiritual and the physical other treatments that you can do. So yes, exercise is is absolutely necessary. You have to sweat. During this thing, you got to do some sweating. It's that friction of the blood through the vessels that will dissolve stuff that has crystallized and solidified on the walls. And the heat will help it dissolve. And you breathe out so many gases when you do it. Where blood goes, healing flows. So you're flowing blood through places that were probably otherwise a little more stagnant, like the brain and the joints. You have to exercise and to the point where you're sweating every day on this cleanse.
You can get in the sauna maybe too.
Yes, all of that. I'm saying break it out. Break out all of these methods. You can get a massage. This is the perfect time to do all of these things. Acupressure, acupuncture, massage, tai chi, qigong, everything that has to do with any kind of physical modality to get energy in you and get things moving around. But sweating is also like necessary. Foot baths, bathing is a good one. Detox baths is great to do during this time. And that's just salt in in a tub. It doesn't have to be a big deal. And a lot of it. You gotta put a lot of it.
Yeah, because I do remember that Epsom salt helps you detox too, right? Like helps you kind of clear things out.
Internally and externally. Epsom salt, sea salt, baking soda, borax. Yep, that laundry stuff, borax, will pull out nanotechnology. Okay. From the blood and the joint.
Whole nother show. So now, if you live in South Florida or anywhere near or California and you live by the ocean, get your butt in the ocean.
Yes.
I keep telling people that live, they're like, "Oh, I don't know it." I'm like, "Man, you're missing out. You need to take
You missing
of cleansing."
and the sun, especially first thing in the morning, there's these devices. I saw at Costco, a device for almost $1,000 for infrared light just for the face.
Yeah.
You can get that at a better quality if you just walk outside in the morning.
Well, one of the things that had happened for me is I had a friend that had parasites and really bad. She actually had like she had to go to like specialists because she went to a sushi place and ate some raw sushi. And I was looking at a lot of my algorithm turned into parasite algorithms. So I'm like, oh shoot, maybe I have parasites too. My even though I've gotten myself off of a lot of my past addictions like Starbucks. Thankfully, I don't have that here. But I do love agave. I love agave. Like I live it in my coffee every morning. Like I feel like a crackhead. I have a little agave.
Right.
Cakes and stuff like that anymore. So my question is, if we do the feast, we want to do parasite cleanse. I'm hoping. So can you tell us just the short version of it? And then next show, we're gonna do a part two, everybody. So hold tight. And we're gonna go deep into a parasite cleanse. So why is it important? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So parasites are like in the example that I was using before of the apartment building, those are the rats and the rodents that are opportunistic. Right. So to do the parasite cleanse, and they're also intelligent and they've evolved with us. So you got to get a little bit deeper and be deliberate, press deliberate buttons, deliberate herbs and stuff, right, to get them out. And how I would recommend doing it is spend at least 3 days on the regular cleanse that I described. Make sure that you have when you're cleansing when you poop a lot
Uh,
for several days consecutively. If you are not pooping a lot, you are not cleansing. I don't care what your diet was before the cleanse. If you're not pooping a lot in the first few days, you're not cleansing. So you got to have a few days where you're pooping a lot on the cleanse, this feasting cleanse, for until it starts to your bowel movements are just the food that you ate that day or the day before. And you can tell because you're only eating vegetables and fruits,
right.
right? So you can
Right.
tell once you've gotten the most of the buildup out of the intestines. Huge. I mean, when you're cleansing, so much poop needs to come out. You're like, oh my God. Like you should get a little scared that so much came out.
Right.
Now you're cleansing. Okay. And you need to do that 2, 3 times a day. Okay. And it's not diarrhea and it's not cramping. And the method, if you follow the method I'm showing, you will be no cramping, no diarrhea. It's just when you do go, foam comes out.
Right.
Do that until it kind of evens out. Now we can begin getting to the parasites. And that's going to happen with specific herbs. There's specific herbal combinations that are so cheap, easy to find. Clove, wormwood, black walnut.
Yeah.
That is the holy trinity. You can also do zeolite, which is something and diatomaceous earth is another thing you can take, which is earth. It's actually fossilized creatures from way, way back in the day when lakes and things would have lots of what they call kind of plankton, but not. And then they all died and they turned into like a mineral that they call diatomaceous earth. And that has a way of mechanically killing a lot of parasites. So there's specific formulas that you can take once you get that cleanse, at least 3 days of good cleansing out. Now we can get access to the parasites, but you're not going to get rid of them in one cycle because you got the adults and then you got the larvae that know how to hide. So you're going to get rid of, do it in a phase for at least a week or so, continuing on the feast, the cleansing feast, taking these herbs. Now you're going to add the herbs for the parasites, right? And then do that again in about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks to get the stuff that you didn't get. You're going to do that in a few cycles if you're infested. Now, once you get it out, most of it out, then you could add a parasite cleanse to your regular cleanse, maybe every other cleanse, just for maintenance. You know what I mean? Right.
We'll do a more in-depth show about that. And I'm sure we can. I'm probably have somebody on to have, in addition to you, to talk about their experience with having parasites.
Yeah,
Stories I've heard.
honey.
My auntie coughed up a worm one time.
My, oh my,
She was doing this, and then she actually coughed it up, and it literally fucked up. Yeah. It's
were you there? Did you see
no,
it?
no, no. I've heard the story, and it's true. It's been corroborated by other people. But yeah. But Melissa, I think you got us on a good start to clearing out our trash chute, as you call it.
Yeah.
Great analogy too. That really is a great visual. And I appreciate you for joining us today. We'll have you back very, very soon. Can you share with us, because I know you sell products as well that help with these things. Share with us maybe a couple of the things you suggest people get if they go to your website. And then tell us your website.
Okay, my website is Luna Rain Botanicals with an S, Luna Rain, like that pulse from the sky, botanicals. And I do have a couple of different detox programs. One is if you want to lose weight, and one is if you don't, and then a mini one. And what that has is the bitters, the detox bath, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, and green powder, like super greens that you can add to your green smoothies. And then I sell them separately too. So if you just want the bitters tea, and everything is highest quality, organic, sustainably farmed, all that good stuff. And I only use, high practices for fair trade and packaging. So I'm really proud of our products and our website, and I would love to serve you guys. LunaRainBotanicals.com. Also, I do consultations. If you have a specific issue, I can help you with finding your own herbal blends and your own pattern of cleansing and stuff. Cycles.
Yeah, that's yeah. I heard her products are top notch, y'all. So please take advantage of it. And you also we've done shows. I'm gonna link your old show to this. We've done shows about yoni steaming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've done so many different topics with you.
We have.
It's been a minute, but yeah. The great thing is, even if they're 10 years ago, it's timeless.
Still, yeah,
Yeah.
it still pertains.
And make sure you guys reach out to Melissa. Let her know that you learned about her on your power. Book your consultation with her. Get the products. They're very top notch. But we'll have you back. Let's say maybe in the next couple of weeks. Do a part two. Because funny enough, you mentioned the lymphatic system, and we're doing a show about that too.
Yes.
I have my massage therapist. She's very well versed in that, so we're gonna talk about that. So yeah, we're getting everybody ready for the summer.
Come on now. Let's get it. This is going to be an awesome year.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being on the show, and we will have you back again. Luna Rain Botanicals with an F. Make sure y'all visit her. And on Instagram, what's your name?
Luna Rain Botanicals.
Same thing.
Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, it's all the same. Luna Rain Botanicals.
But make sure you guys follow her. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Own Your Power Lifestyle Show. We learned a lot today with Melissa Moonchild Stokes. She really, really is so informative, and I'm looking forward to having her back. So if you're interested in learning more about what I do as an intuitive life coach and Reiki master, you can just go to ownyourpowerlifestyle.com, go to my services page, and find out more about what I do. I look forward to working with you soon. Remember, anything you want is attainable. Own your power. Keep it locked here. Subscribe, comment, and share. See you guys until next time. Bye. Ladies, Did you know Black women often experience menopause earlier and with stronger symptoms than any other group? That's right, next level hot flashes, mood swings, and sleepless nights. But don't sweat it. Chill by Black Girl Vitamins is here to help. Packed with herbs like ashwagandha, it's specially designed to support perimenopausal and menopausal women just like you. Plus, it's 100% vegan and doctor approved. Feel balanced, cool, and in control every stage of the journey. Own your power and take on menopause like the queen that you are. Try Chill by Black Girl Vitamins today and get 20% off by clicking our special link in the show notes.